Avatar, Fire and Ash is now in theaters, and it's opened up and it's had its first opening weekend. Now, listen, we have reminded everybody for months now, Avatar films don't open big. The first Avatar film opened in the $70-ish million on its opening weekend. It went on to make almost $3 billion. Avatar 2 opened up to $134 million, to which everybody said, flop! And then it went on to become one of the highest grossing films in cinematic history, well north of $2 billion. Well, now the third Avatar film has opened, and it's continued the same trend to not open huge, but it's also gone in the wrong direction, as it's being reported that Avatar 3 has made $88 million opening weekend. $88 million opening weekend. Now, that is a very good number to many movies. If they could open, ask SpongeBob SquarePants if they would have liked to have an $88 million opening weekend this weekend. That movie flopped. It opened to $16 million. It would love to have an $88 million opening. But the fact is that this is a big step backwards from Avatar 2. You know, the first Avatar, it only opened to 77, so we knew that. But Avatar 2 took a big jump up to 134. Again, not as big as you might think for a film that went on to make over $2 billion, but still it went in that direction. Made $134 million. Avatar 3, by making $88 million, that represents a 35% decrease from the opening weekend of Avatar 2. Now, there are a couple of caveats to go along with this, obviously. One is the wait between Avatar 1 and Avatar 2 was far more significant. So that's a big one to have. Another caveat, not as many people go to the movies today as they did before, but it's not 35% less. And again, Rob, while nobody should panic and nobody should be jumping off the Titanic here, all Avatar films open modestly. That's been their pattern, and it's all been about their legs, and they become the biggest films of all time. But even I, who have been preaching that, even I got to say, 88 million, a 35% decrease from the last one is stark. That's a stark difference. That's not a minor numerical anomaly. That's a stark difference. Now, I really liked Avatar Fire and Ash, although I do believe it's the third best of the three Avatar films. I still thought it was quite good. But Rob, what do you make of this $88 million opening, which represents a 35% decrease from the opening of Avatar 2? Is it anything to worry about? Do you think it'll have the legs that it required? And what do you attribute the fact that it opened 35% less than the last one did? What do you think?
All good questions. I want to point out too, John, that Avatar Fire and Ash globally opened with 345 million total, whereas Way of Water opened with 441.7 million total globally. So that's almost $100 million difference in terms of the global opening weekend from the last Avatar film. Now, here's the thing. We're talking about the two of the highest grossing movies of all time. And these Avatar movies are certainly expensive. But Avatar Way of Water and Avatar Fire and Ash were also shot concurrently for the most part. And I don't think it's really anything to worry about, because I still think this movie is going to do very, very well over. It basically has 2 more weeks of holiday weekends or holiday time around the world, not weekends, but you do have Christmas weekend. You know, Christmas is what, Thursday, and then you've got that whole weekend. Then you have New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and then you have that weekend. So I think it's going to be interesting to see where this movie is in the first week of 2026. And then we'll really know, has this really disappointed, or is it going to be, it's still going to chug along? I mean, it might not reach the heights of where the other Avatar movies wind up, but if it makes over $1 billion or $1.5 billion, I think you still have to look at it as a pretty resounding hit.
But that's the question at this point, right? And again, let's acknowledge this was the same question we had with Avatar 1. It was the same question we brought up for Avatar 2, and we saw how those worked out, but we should ask it again here. You're saying if it gets to like $1.5 billion, we should consider that a hit. I think you have to be absolutely brain dead to not acknowledge that. I mean, somebody would have to be an idiot and just looking to try to say something negative. If this movie makes $1.3 billion, to paint it as anything other than a success, of course it is. But here's my question. Again, questions we asked with the other ones, but we'll ask it again. Can it get to 1.3 billion? Because again, domestically, we saw a 35% decrease. Internationally, we saw over a 25% decrease. Can this movie repeat what we saw with Avatar 1 and 2 and overcome those modest opening weekends, modest by Avatar standards, this modest opening weekend, and actually plunge out legs to take it over that $1 billion mark? Do you think it can do that?
I don't think it's going to reach the heights of the first two Avatar movies. And for a lot of the reasons that you stated, it's a much more familiar concept now. You've now have two previous times where people, I mean, the experience of watching Fire and Ash, I think, is still a sublime experience. As experiential events, these movies are second to none. But we've seen them before. The novelty of this experience and Way of Water and this film are very similar. I mean, you have the new tribe, and there's a couple of new tribes actually, and there's a lot of really great stuff. I really loved being immersed in the Pandoran world again. But I maybe think that there's not enough. I mean, already you have movie going is down from where it was a couple of years ago when Way of Water came out. So it's facing an uphill battle. So I wouldn't expect it to be as successful, but I think it's going to still be a hit. But it wouldn't surprise me if it's 25 or 30% less of a hit than Way of Water was. That wouldn't surprise me.
But that's the thing, right? Even if it's a 25% less than Way of Water, that still makes it about a $1.5 billion film at 25% less. I'm just wondering if it's going to be 50% less or more. That's what I got to say. That's what I'm worried about.
I don't have a sense of that yet. You know, I think we're going to know over this holiday weekend, because a lot of people are like, hey, you know, it's a holiday. We got the holidays. We're going to go see it then, and they'll catch up with it. Because I do think the movie is still a great experience. It's a great theatrical experience. It's not an experience that let me down at all. So I enjoyed it. You know, we'll see. But
Here's a question.
I don't think. Oh, sorry.
I was going to ask, are you planning to go back and watch it again? Because I'll be honest with you, I liked it. I had a good time with it. Again, my third favorite of the three, but I enjoyed it. Thumbs up for me. I had a good time. I don't know if I'm planning to go see it again, but you think you are?
Yeah, I have people that want to go see it with me. Like Elizabeth wants to go, and I went by myself. I went with my friend James, and so I'll go back for family if nothing else.
When all else fails, go back for family.
Family.
All right, guys. What do you think about this? Avatar has just made more money in its opening weekend than the first Avatar did, and that movie went on to make almost $3 billion. But it is about 35% less than the second one opened with. Is that, Carlos Valor, do you doubt, like, I've never thought that this Avatar movie would make $2 billion, but do you have any doubts that it can cross the $1 billion mark now? Will it follow the same pattern as the other two and really make its money with its legs? Or does this one not have that capability? I don't know. Whatever you guys think about it, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.